Alrighty, so there's a bit more work we have to do here in order item, and that's mainly setting up the relationship between order and order item. So it's really a many to one coming from the side of order item. So going from order to order item is one to many. Going from order item to order is many to one. And then we simply use the actual join column name here, and the join column is order underscore ID. Now our order is also associated with a customer. And then also an order is associated with shipping address and a billing address. Then I'll set up the relationship. So an order has a many to one relationship with customer, and the join column is on customer underscore ID. Now let's go ahead and look at our customer class here. So our customer will set up a collection of orders. And the relationship we'll use here is one to many. And this will be mapped by the customer that's defined in the given order. And we'll also set up our cascade type to cascade all. And I'll simply just initialize this collection here. And I'll also go through and add a convenience method for adding new orders for this customer. And again, it's just a convenience method. We could use it in the future if we'd like. So we simply pass in an order, make sure order is not equal to null. If orders, the collection is null, we create a new one. We do orders.add the order, and then we also set our reference on the customer. So order set customer this. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move back to order. And let's set up the relationships here between order and our shipping address and billing address. So the shipping address is a one-to-one relationship. And the join column that we're using here is the shipping address ID that's defined here in this order table. And then the reference column name is the ID defined in the actual address table. So I can just copy this and apply the same for billing address. Simply make the one small change here on the name. So that would be billing address ID. But then everything else there stays the same. Okay, so let's move into address.java and set up the relationship between the address and the order. And this is going to be a one-to-one. And then here we have primary key join column. So we'll basically join based on the ID of the order and also the ID of the address. And so we basically just kind of default and use the same name for those primary keys, and Hibernate will figure out the actual @ID for each one of these entities. Okay, great. So this takes care of the relationship between address and order, and that applies for our billing address and shipping address.